Okay, hello, welcome. Thank you to everyone who's tuned in, and thanks to those who checked out our live broadcast this morning with the careers team, and thanks for all your questions. This is the second session as part of our online Leicester College lockdown project, and we're going to be talking to different groups around the college who are going to give you a bit of information about various things relating to applications, careers, welfare and finance. And today's session is going to be with one of our team from Student Support and Welfare Department, Mr. Jamie Simpson, and he's going to be answering all manner of questions that you might have about student finance. So I'll hand you over to Jamie, and we'll please send in some questions and we'll happily answer them for you.
Hello, good afternoon everyone, and welcome. Thank you for tuning in. As Nick kindly introduced me, my name is Jamie. I'm a welfare advisor at the college, and I'm here to answer questions in relation to student finance for those of you who are going to university in September, any immigration/fee queries that you may have, whether or not you have to pay, whether you have to pay fee for your course, whether there's a fee or whether we can find you a fee waiver, and also in relation to financial help that may be available to you while you're attending Leicester College. So please feel free to ask any questions in relation to those areas. And any other questions that you can think of that maybe I've not covered. If I can't cover it, I will do my level best to answer it or get you the correct answer at a later date. If you do have any queries, if you email welfare@leicestercollege.ac.uk, if you're not comfortable asking them on this platform or it's a question of a more personal nature, please email welfare@leicestercollege.ac.uk.
Yes, thanks for pointing that out, Jamie. That was actually one of our first questions that popped up from Leanne, was asking about an email address you can send questions to. So thanks very much for preemptively answering that one for us.
There you go, Leanne, my pleasure. Just to reiterate that it's all lowercase and Leicester College is all one word.
Thank you for clearing that up, Jamie. We've got a question from Saj Parviz. It's more of a general question, I believe, about adult courses, fees around adult courses. Can you provide a bit of insight into, well, I suppose, financial support or kind of information around adult courses? Do you know much about that?
I do, but the world of fees is a very complicated one. What I'd suggest that Sarge does is to email on that welfare email, and if he could give me some more details, I'd need to know his age, the highest level of qualification that he currently holds, whether or not he's working or claiming a benefit. Unfortunately, the way Sarge has asked, because it's too vague for me to give a specific answer, so strongly advise him to email me with a few more details and I will be able to answer him correctly and accurately.
That's great, no problem. I think you've probably helped him find the information online just by sending an email out to that. Okay, next question coming in is from someone you may already know, Sarfraz Ahmed, and he is asking, Jamie, what is the deadline for Student Finance England applications for university?
Oh, hi Sarfraz, nice to hear from you. It's the end of May, Sarfraz, the 27th of May. But as I say, I mean, everybody really should aim to get their applications in by that date, because as I've said, that's the date that they will then guarantee that your funding will be ready for your September start. I mean, in extreme circumstances, you can apply later than that, but student finance won't then offer you that guarantee of your funding being in place for the start of September. So focus the mind and get that in by the May 27th deadline, if it's all possible. Again, sorry to repeat myself, any questions or queries in regards to student finance, please ask them here, or indeed email the welfare@leicestercollege.ac.uk address. So it's May the 27th for your funding to be guaranteed to be ready for your September start. So thanks for the question, Safraz.
Brilliant, thank you for that. We are getting quite a few questions in now, so really appreciate everyone sending them in. Please do keep them coming. So the next question we've got is from Laurie Seville. She's wondering, is there help funding for people who've been out of education and work for a long time?
Absolutely, Laurie. So much help available. I mean, when you're looking at doing a course, there's two main costs. Okay, the big cost is the tuition fee. Okay, but again, this is where it gets a little bit more complicated, and I would need to know more information about you. So again, email on the welfare@leicestercollege.ac.uk address. Just to give you an idea, though. If you're looking at doing a level 1 or a level 2 course, and you're in receipt of one of the main benefits, so universal credit, ESA, income support, job seekers allowance, then the chances are that the tuition fee will be free, so the government will fund that for you in full. Then on the other side, depending on what course you're doing, there may be additional smaller costs, for example, an enrolment fee, a material fee, and indeed there may be help. You might need help getting here. For example, we can sometimes, through the Learner Support Fund, which I'll go on and talk a little bit more about later on, we do have a pot of money to help with things like travel, and also if you needed help with childcare, etc. So as I say, to reiterate, two main costs: the tuition fee, and yes, there's lots of ways in which that fee can be waived, that i.e. you don't need to pay for your course. But again, if you could email me with your individual circumstances, I'll give you a spot on answer. And through the Learner Support Fund, we can help you with additional costs, travel, childcare, material fees, and some courses have residential trips that we can also fund. So I hope that's helped a little bit, Laurie, but please email me on that welfare email and I will answer you, give you a sort of bespoke answer to that question.
Thanks very much for that, and thank you for everyone who's sending questions. We are getting round to all of them in order, so please do keep submitting them, and as long as we've got time, we'll continue answering them. So next question is from Jamie Atwood, and he was wanting to ask, what will be happening to bus passes when students return for a second year? Is that a question you're able to answer?
Yeah, I mean, I assume that Jamie has already been at the college and received a bus pass already for academic year 1920. So you must submit another Learner Support Fund application. It doesn't automatically roll over, Jamie, but if you qualified for a bus pass in the first year and nothing has changed with your circumstances, then you just need to reapply, and the bus passes will operate as it did in this academic year that we're currently in. Actually, just to quickly talk about the Learner Support Fund. Obviously, in normal circumstances, and the college is open, you can collect a paper form. So the Learner Support Fund is a paper-based application, and you can normally collect that from campuses from the 1st of June. However, if you go onto the college website, you can access that electronically. Okay, so you'd need to fill out a form, which is just basic questions: name, address, the course you're doing, what you would like help with. So the things we typically help with is travel, material fees, childcare. So you can, if when the college reopens, hopefully we'll be reopening soon, you can come into a campus and collect that in person. So you're asking for a learner support fund form, but you can, as of now, access an electronic version of that and submit everything electronically via the Leicester College website.
Brilliant. Thanks for that. Next question we've got is from Laura Grace Scott. And she's wondering, so she's been on PIP and ESA, was wondering, she's going to be becoming a student, if she can keep PIP or what funding is available. She's 29, she's a mature student. She also wanted to add that she's going to be moving from Scotland into England.
Okay, now I'm going to feel like an awful cop-out again, but I really would ask Laurie to email me with her specific circumstances. I need to know, if people are going to ask me questions about the funding, I need to know what level of course they're doing. So whether they're doing a level 1, 2 or a 3 course in further education, or indeed whether they're doing a higher education course. To try and answer Laurie's question, your PIP is a non-means tested benefit. So whether you're doing a further education course or whether you're doing a higher education course, the PIP will remain. If you're doing a higher education course, you will probably lose your ESA, because then you will be getting student finance. If you are doing a further education course, there's a good chance that you will be able to keep your ESA as well. It's a complicated world. We haven't got long today, so Laura, please email me on that welfare email address, and I will answer you individually. Okay, I hope that helped a little bit though in the meantime.
Thank you. And just for everyone wondering about contact details and stuff, we will flash that up at the end of the session, so you can kind of follow up on any questions that you've asked today. Next question that we've got is from Joanne Elizabeth. She's wanting to know what's going to happen about interviews for those leaving school.
Oh, Joanne, I'm terribly sorry. That's one area that I don't deal with. However, if you emailed info@leicestercollege.ac.uk, that's info@leicestercollege.ac.uk, it will be the information centre department that will be able to answer that question. That's one of the few questions I can't help you with, unfortunately, but thank you for asking.
No worries, thanks for that. Next question that we've got in is from Anna Nako. What's going to happen about Isolde Courses?
Okay, well, again, we're in unprecedented times. Apply if you want to do a course. Obviously, you'd now be looking at a course that starts in September. The whole application process is still open to you. I mean, obviously, nobody can predict quite what's going to happen in these times, but I would imagine that by September, we should be up and running as normal, in which case, just apply if you haven't already through the normal channels. You can apply online, and then the college will contact you with joining instructions over the summer. So let's just assume and hope that everything will be running as normal.
Yeah, and I think it's good to reassure people that obviously this is uncertain for a lot of us, and part of the reason we're running these sessions is to give people a platform to be able to ask us direct questions to people in our organisation about things around the college that are difficult to find information about when the college is not open and you can't physically remain there in person. I just want to thank everyone who's sent their questions in so far. We really appreciate that, and we really appreciate everyone who's taken the time to tune in please do keep the questions coming, as this is a really valuable service that you can kind of find information out, particularly about sort of financial worries and concerns, and we'll just try and put you at ease with you know, what your future might be and what your opportunities are in terms of education. We have unfortunately lost our host from welfare, Jamie, so I'm waiting for him to tune back in so he can continue answering your questions. In the meantime, I'm going to try and flash up some links that will help you find out a bit more information about some of the things that he's discussed. So this here is a link to the Advanced Learner Loan, which is a really kind of important financial support service available for a lot of you. Jamie's back with us now. Thanks, Jamie.
Not sure what happened there. Terribly sorry.
It's all right. No, it's all right. I've kept just flashing up some links for people to follow, and yeah, we'll just continue with it. It's one of those. It's one of the things with live streaming. We can expect some hitches, so it's all right. Thank you for everyone's questions. Basically, please keep them coming in. Please use this time to learn as much as you can, and we're here to help. So Jamie's very knowledgeable about a lot of these areas. What we're going to do for the time being is answer some commonly asked questions that we get on a regular basis, just to maybe help people that don't know what they're asking right now. But I've just seen a couple more questions come in, so we'll just prioritize those first. So the next question is from Abid Ullah, and it says, what support are available for those students who are aged 19 and starting full-time education this year?
Okay, so again, we're talking about the two areas. We're talking about the tuition fee, which is the cost of the course. So again, there's many different fee waivers available in terms of whether you have to pay for your course or not. So if you are, for example, in receipt of a benefit, or whether you're working and earning less than £16,190 a year. Again, I'd need to know what level course Abid is looking at doing to answer him accurately. And he's also welcome to apply to the Learner Support Fund, which is the pot of money, as I've explained, that can help with those additional costs of coming to college. So he might want to look at the Leicester College website and have a look at the Learner Support Fund and make an application to that. Okay, so but again, if he would like to email me directly on the welfare address, tell me what level course he's doing, his personal circumstances, I can then give him, you know, that real accurate bespoke information.
Brilliant, thank you very much. And if people do want to ask further questions, if you've asked something and you want to take it a bit more specific whilst we're on air, please feel free to follow up on your initial questions. Next, we've got a question from Leanne Casey. She says, what should I do? I've been accepted onto a health and social care level 3 course in September. How do I get help with my fees, etc.? I'm on full benefits. And she's also pointed out that she's worried about losing her place due to her health.
Okay. So first of all, I'd need to know if Leanne is between 19 and 23 years old and she hasn't already got a level 3 qualification, then she will receive a fee waiver for her tuition fee. So that means the cost of the course will be free. However, if you are between 19 and 23 and you already have a level 3, or indeed you're 24 or over, you would have to apply for an advanced learner loan through Student Finance England. So just to reiterate, if you're between 19 and 23 and you haven't already got a level 3, you may receive a fee waiver. However, if you're between 19 and 23 and you already have a level 3, then you will have to apply for an advanced learner loan to pay for the course. And indeed, if you're just over 24, regardless of whether you have a level 3 or not already, again, you'd have to apply for the learner support, for an advanced learner loan. So again, that's available through Student Finance England.
Yeah, brilliant. And just to clarify, Leanne followed up saying she's 33. So the advice would be to take the advanced learner loan, right?
Yeah, so Google Advanced Learner Loan. It's a loan from the government. It's a loan from the government, and yeah, again, we haven't got enough time to discuss that fully, but all the information is there on the gov.uk website, and you're looking for an advanced learner loan.
Brilliant. Okay, just whilst the comments are still coming in, I thought we'd flash up a few of the commonly asked questions and just tackle some of those, if that's all right, Jamie.
Sure.
So I just want to ask a question about the Learner Support Fund. So a question that we often get is, I'm from a low-income family. What help is available to support me with my studies?
Okay, well, the Learner Support Fund is a means-tested fund, so not everybody will qualify. If you're between 16 and 18 or 19 and still your family still claim child benefit or child tax credits for you, or universal credit for you, then we'd be looking at household income, so parental income. So it might be that you live with your mum, or you live with your dad, or you live with both, but we'd be looking at household income, and the current limit for that is 30,000. So just 30,000 in wages, not wages and benefits. So it's just, we'd be looking at salaries, and if the household income does not exceed 30,000, then you will qualify for help from the Learner Support Fund. If you're 19 and older and no longer you're independent, as in your parents are no longer claiming any benefit for you, then we'd be looking at your own individual circumstances, and then the limit for that is as long as you're not earning more than £16,190 a year, or if you're claiming any of the main benefits, then you will qualify for the fund. And again, the fund is there to help with travel, any enrollment fees, any kit that you need, because a lot of our courses are vocational, so you'll need kit, and help with childcare as well. Okay, we would pay 100% of your childcare if to cover your time at college, as long as there's not another non-working adult in the household. So it's the Learner Support Fund. Again, you can apply online. You can apply online, or you can, once the college is open, you can come into any of the campus sites and collect a paper-based Learner Support Fund application. Typical things that we would need: you need to fill out the form, and then the things that we normally ask for are evidence to prove the household income, because, as I say, it's means tested. So typical things we're looking for are P60s, wage slips, benefit letters, universal credit statements, and also a form of ID. But again, all the information's online, or indeed if you collect a paper-based form, the evidence that we need is clearly listed in there as well. Okay.
Brilliant, that's great, thank you for that. Got another question come in from someone on Facebook. It's Rebecca Amy Clark. She says that she lives alone and she's claiming full benefits for her disability, and she's applied to do an adult GCSE intensive course next year. She's not heard anything back, and she's wondering whether she'll get help with payments.
Okay, hi Rebecca, thank you for your question. Right, in terms of you haven't heard anything, again, for that part of the question, I'm going to direct you to the info@leicestercollege.ac.uk, just so you can chase up your application and see what's happening in regards to that. In regards to fees, the GCSE course you're referring to is a level 2 course. So if you're in receipt of one of the main benefits, then you will receive a fee waiver for that course. And again, you can apply to the Learner Support Fund for the additional items that I've discussed. Okay, your travel if you needed help with childcare, material fees, etc., etc. So it's looking good for you, Rebecca.
Brilliant. Thank you for Rebecca for sending that question in. I'm just going to go through some more of the FAQs whilst we wait. One of these I wanted to bring up is related to fee status. So this question, I've applied to the college and have been asked to attend an appointment for a fee status. Can you just explain a bit about what that is for anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, sure. So when you apply for the course, whether it's a paper-based application or indeed an online application, and one of the questions is, have you lived in the UK, EU or EEA for the past 3 years? If you haven't, then you will automatically receive a letter asking you to contact the college for a fee status appointment. This is just to ascertain whether or not you can receive government funding for your course. So not everybody that has permission to be in the UK has recourse to funding for an education. So we're fundamentally trying to ascertain whether you're classed as home or overseas. So to that appointment, you would need to bring any of your own documents. So commonly we would need to see passports, we would need to see visas or biometric residence permits. And if your permission to be in the UK is based on somebody else, like a partner or a family member, we would also need to see their documents as well. So it's an appointment for those who haven't lived in the EU, UK or EEA for the past 3 years to see whether you can be classed as home, in which case you receive government funding for your course, or whether or indeed you're overseas, in which case the cost, you don't get government funding and the costs will be considerably higher.
Brilliant. Thanks for that, Jamie. Really useful. We've got another question that's come in from Victor. This is about student finance. If I apply for student finance, do I have to be a British citizen to get that finance? He's also added that he's lived here for 6 years now, but he's not a British citizen. He's from Europe and he's 19 years old. Did you
Victor? Oops, yeah. Sorry, bear with me. Sorry, my my charger's flashing at me. Okay, as a EU citizen, so not if you've, in Victor's individual situation, he's been in the UK for 5 years. So if he's an EU citizen who has been ordinarily resident in the UK for 5 consecutive years without any substantial breaks in that residency, then he can apply as normal online on the online portal Student Finance England. So in Victor's situation, it's looking good for him because he has the 5 years in the UK. For other EU citizens that may be watching this, as long as you have lived in the EU, you have an EU passport and you have lived within the EU for the last 3 years, so not necessarily the UK, but the EU, including the UK, of course, then you can apply certainly for a tuition fee. But as a general rule, for an EU citizen to have recourse to the full package, so that's tuition fee and maintenance loan, an EU citizen would have to have been ordinarily resident in the UK for 5 years before the start of their course. So it's going to be 5 years as of the 31st of August 2020. I hope that's answered your question, Victor.
Brilliant. That's great. Thanks very much. We are coming towards the end of the session now. So probably going to have to wrap it up there, Jamie, but I really appreciate you doing this, and thank you very much to everyone who's listened today and sent in your questions. We really hope it's been helpful for you. That is the aim of this, to provide a sort of point for questions that you might have during this time that's quite difficult for you to access the information you need. Please do keep tuning into these sessions. We'll be running them every Tuesday at 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. every week throughout May, June, July and August. We're going to be covering all types of topics and frequently asked questions about all areas of the college, including applications, apprenticeships and more. If you want to know more about Leicester College life and what it's like as an experience and on-site, obviously since that's not possible, we're going to be running a massive online digital campaign called Discover LC, which is going to be full of exciting content, interviews with staff and students, and virtual tours of our campuses and departments, which you can basically look at and understand a bit better without being able to visit it in person. Please do visit our website to sign up for updates about that, and keep an eye on the social media for updates about our live Q&A sessions. If you're wanting to see more links about things we talked about today, this is a link to the advanced learner loans. There'll also be links in the comments on this broadcast on Facebook. That's another general link to financial support. And do you have any other links that you'd suggest, Jamie, that I can flash up here?
Well, not necessarily in terms of links, but just something I'd like to say, just to summarize, is that, again, a lot of the questions that you might have might be of a personal nature, might need a sort of tailor-made bespoke answer. So again, just to invite people to email me on the welfare, if you could flash that up again, Nick, that would be excellent, the welfare address. If people are comfortable and it could include their a mobile number or a contact number, then I can actually call you as well, because obviously some of the answers are going to be quite complicated, and it'll be much easier to do it over the telephone, okay? And it's a lot more interactive. So if you do have any queries and you're comfortable in doing so, please email and leave a contact phone number, and I'll call you directly so we can have a chat, okay?
Brilliant. Jamie, thanks so much for doing this live Q&A for us, and thanks to everyone who tuned in and asked questions. I hope it's been helpful.
Yeah, thanks everyone for the questions. Fantastic. It doesn't work without you, so thank you.
Yeah, thanks.